how to use the BENQ Smartboard. So the first thing you need to do is turn it back on if you haven't already. So the board has a multiple screen function. So you press the arrows there and the plus, and you can add additional screens, and then you can swing back and forth between the screens. So down the bottom there's a little toolbox function, and in that toolbox is a number of items. So the first item that you've got in that toolbox is a calculator. There's also a geometry function where you can set up triangles or circles. There's a stopwatch, so that if you were, say, timing the students to do something, you could use that stopwatch function. There's also a countdown timer. This is pretty handy. Say you've set a task to go for 20 minutes, you can set the countdown timer and it just brings everyone back. They can see how much time they've got to go, and it makes a dinging sound once it's finished and flashes on the screen. That's pretty handy. There is also a scoreboard. So if, say, you were doing a competitive activity and you wanted to give scores to different groups of students, you could actually score them on the board, keep the scores tally on the board, and then give out the chalky frogs at the end. There's also this group function. So if, say, you wanted to give students some random sums within a particular number frame, so you can set that up. It randomizes the numbers out. So this case it's set for 3 random numbers from between 1 and 99. So it's just a handy way of being able to set up a random set of numbers. There is multiple screens. So this one here, you can have 3 smaller screens and actually have 3 students writing on each of them separately, and they will work completely independently of each other. So if you had it with, again, if it was a competitive thing, or you were wanting the different groups to be able to put things onto the whiteboard, that could work too. So you could have 3 different things. It's also handy as a teacher because you might want to have 3 things going at once, so that's handy for that. This function here allows you to do written work to text, so you can write a word and it'll convert it into text. Just write the word and click identify and it'll convert it. So that's just some of the toolbox functions. Sorry, you can add images. So an image from a file, actually didn't have an image loaded in at this point, but if you had a USB stick, there's USB ports on the front of the unit that you can plug in, and you can access your files straight from your USB, or have them saved onto the system. We probably wouldn't save a lot of files onto the system, as a limited memory, but using a USB is a handy option. So the other one is a PDF, so you can actually load a PDF. I think this is one of the previous boards that we had, and it's just it will load it back in, and then you can annotate over the top, and that would work for anything that's saved on a PDF. So if it's a PDF written form or a picture that's saved as a PDF, you can load it onto the screen and then annotate over the top of the image. So finally, these functions on this side of the screen, we've got a share function. So this is a great option this board has, because you can share the images that the screen, if you've put a lot of time into a screen, you can actually share it with the students through a QR code. So it'll generate a QR code straight in the machine itself. You just scan that with your camera or your QR code reader, depending on what sort of phone you have. Sends you to a website, so then you click on the website link that comes up on your phone, and there you've got the whiteboard. What was on the whiteboard is now on your phone or your device, so it could be on your iPad, and then you can do with that what you would like. You can also share it via email or other ways. So this one here is actually a record function, so that you can record what you've been drawing onto the screen. So if we're going to save it, we can save it as a PDF, and then we can email it around. It does save it onto the system here, so remember, if you're going to save it to your USB drive, then you can access it from your computer, and then there's an exit button as well to get out of the system. So that's a little bit about the screen and some of the functionality that we have. Just remembering to, if you want to go back to your computer, so say you've got your computer plugged in at the side, remember to plug in both the HDMI cable and the USB, and you can operate your computer from the screen, and that just switches backwards and forwards using that button, which you'll see, between the two. Yeah, so you can flick between one to the other. That's the end of the video. Have a great day. Bye.